How you doing, Rajeev?
I'm doing great. What about
Thank you.
you?
Thank you so much for being here, man.
Yeah, it's nice to be here.
Yes, sir. What time you got over there where you're at?
Here it is 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
Ah, so how are you feeling today, sir?
It's just light and amazing, and just nice to be here, seeing you.
I'm so glad you're here. Well, seeing as how this is your interview, how about we hear a little bit about yourself? Do you want to tell anything about yourself? Do you want to explain what you're doing, how you get by day to day, where you're at, that kind of thing?
Yeah, nowadays I am a university student, and I am studying philosophy at the university, and I just completed my final year.
Really? Your
Yeah.
final year. Did you do
To
it in how many years did it take?
uh, it took 3 years. Here,
3 years.
here we have 3 years of graduation.
That's amazing. I'm so happy for you, man.
Yeah.
So, no more books, huh? So what are you gonna do now?
uh, Actually, I am thinking of continuing with my studies, as I am uh, thinking of delving deeper into philosophical subjects, uh,
Love it.
and analysis. Not out of seeking, but just out of pure interest to
Yes.
explore concepts and all those things.
Oh yes. I can't agree more. Why not? Why not have fun looking and exploring?
Yeah.
So can you tell me what interests you the most at the moment? What are you most interested in as far as philosophy is concerned?
uh, Actually, I have started to get interest in radical non-duality, uh, because as I was watching philosophy videos on YouTube channel, so I came across some radical non-duality message, uh, folks, and side by side, I am also interested in reading about David Hume and all those philosophers also. So side by side, all the things are moving.
It's beautiful. What is there something in particular that interested you about the radical non-dualists, the radical messageless message?
The most amazing thing it happened was that it just energy to energy, means it just goes straight to your heart, means to your energy body. The message means most of the messages uh, out there all only address the conceptual mind a lot, but the most great thing I like about radical non-duality is that it just goes straight to the energy, means it's just energetic message, and it's just resonance. That's what I like the most about it.
Yes, I do too. I agree in that it is the most direct and honest message that I have ever come across. There is no it's the tables turn uh, in that it is not a philosopher trying to convince you of a theory. It is the
Yes.
exact opposite of that. It is what is expressing itself as a speaker trying to convey what cannot be said. It's beautiful. It's beyond beautiful.
It's amazing.
There, yeah, there is no lying in it. You know, it's beautiful.
Actually, another thing I liked about this is messageless message is that Um, it is full of lightness, laughter. Means it is not serious.
Yes.
It just brings the child out of you. That is what is I like.
Yes. I agree. It seems the people that I run across that have had a glimpse of this within their character, however you want to say that, have a lightness about them. You know, it's I speak to people from all over the world, and any of the characters that I've come across that seem to have brushed this infinite gaze, whatever you want to say it is, all seem to smile really easily. You know, they, no matter what's going on, they realize it's a playground.
Yeah, you turn from a solid body to a jellyfish. Moving like this, just like this.
Yes. My brain is just a jellyfish in the oceans of my head.
Means body, mind, everything just flows.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I got to know you by you were coming into the meetings on Monday, the Bedside Manor meetings on Monday, and I thought it was so amazing because you would sit there and not say anything for hours. You were there for hours, and I just appreciate it so much, and I'm so grateful to be able to talk to you now. I'm so, I'm just so happy to have met you. And uh, how long ago did you graduate?
Uh, Actually, you would be surprised to hear that today was my last exam of my graduation.
No way.
I just completed it at 2 o'clock, means 1 hour earlier.
My congratulations, my friend.
Yeah, welcome.
So, and you're going to go for what? Your master's?
Yeah, I am thinking of going for my master's.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yes. So what? So, are you majoring in philosophy?
Yeah.
So, what did your family say about that? Did they mind?
Uh, Actually, initially they were not agreeing with my taking of philosophy, but after that, when they saw my interest and passion towards the subject, then they thought that let him do it. He
They
enjoys,
saw
and yeah, let
they
him
saw
do.
your smile. They saw your
Yeah,
smile. So you could glue a house together with that smile, man.
yeah,
So if I was speaking to a philosophy major earlier today from Afghanistan, and he was running into a lot of problems, saying that his family was, many people, his teachers at school were all saying that he should go or leave philosophy and go to something more academic, something more trade oriented. And he was saying that he didn't care about any of that. He could not stop thinking about philosophy, and loved it so much. And he had a shared smile. He did not care. He says, um, the money will come from wherever it is now. And
yeah, yeah,
yeah, the everybody, no matter what financial position they're in, has ups and downs. The philosophy cannot be bought or sold. Your heart.
yeah.
And I find that warming. I find that warms my heart. I'm so glad to know you. And so you graduated today.
Yeah.
So tell me how you feel. Are you relieved? I mean, you finally got there and you're already thinking about diving right back in, huh?
Yeah, it will be a few days off, just relaxing, and then I will start preparing for future academic life.
Oh, I love it. There's got to be um, something said for a quest for what can be known.
Yeah.
Do you think that what do you think about knowledge? What do you think knowledge is?
Uh, I think knowledge is something which is a contradictory word, because there is no knower in the first place. So how can there be knowledge? Either we can say that there is only knowledge, everything is knowledge, or we can say that there is no knowledge.
Yes, it's very much like consciousness. You could pick any word you like there. Yeah, thought, consciousness, ideas. Um, you could say everything is thought, everything is
Yeah.
consciousness, or nothing is consciousness. Nothing is conscious.
Yes,
Nothing.
yes,
There is no
exactly.
thought. Yeah, there appears to be. That's the most beautiful thing about the messageless message to me, in that that very foundation, that thought could be everything or could be nothing, is amazing to me. That is unknowable. That very question has no foundation in an objective reality, in an objective truth. There is no
Yes,
tether to any objective point in which to say that could be knowledge, could be true, could be objectively real. And that is, for me, the most fascinating, from the outset, the most fascinating thing about non-duality, in that even your own thought and everything that appears to be this immediate experience cannot be known to be as it appears.
yes, exactly.
So given that, uh, once you go there, where do you go? I mean, what do you do with immediate experience? How do you interact with existence? Tell me how you feel. Is there a you?
Means uh, my experiences have started to become more and more untranslatable, means indescribable. Means previously I was able to describe my experiences in a very framework type of way, that this is how things are. But as time went by, uh, it got dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, and then it just became totally, means language less. Means words still come out, but if I would want to say something about it, I can't say what it is.
So along that line, how would you excuse me, how would you address someone that said to you, well, I think, what do you mean? Knowledge exists, I know things, I think I'm here now. What do you mean? What are you saying?
Yeah, uh, I will say to him that you are also right, because the indescribable light can pass through infinite prisms of the mind, and
Mm.
and can manifest into infinite creations, and a thought is just a part of that infinite creation of indescribable perfection and light. So it is also a part of the infinite potentiality or knowledge.
I love that word, potentiality. Now, is there a source? Is there a cause?
Um, I think there is a cause, but it is not proper to call it cause, because it is many more things than cause. Means it is not specifically a cause. If we can say that it is manifesting as many types of realities and potentialities, then we can say that it is a causal and it is manifesting. But if we are to say that we can't describe it, then we can't call it a cause. So both are true. There is a cause, and at the same time there isn't a cause.
Beautiful. How about how about a source? Well, would you say the same thing? A source is a cause. It's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was not calling it cause, because
You're breaking up a minute. Hang on one second. You're breaking up.
uh,
You're
we
breaking up
can
really bad.
say it is a source, or
I think okay. I think you're back. Okay, go ahead.
can you hear me?
Yes, you're breaking up a little bit, but yes. You were talking about, I'm sorry, like most of what you're saying is being. We're waiting on Rajeev to come back. Okay. Let's see if he comes back. Hang on a second. There you go. You back? Yay. I'm sorry about that, brother.
No, I think it was my internet connection, which was, the lights are off. You can see that.
So you were talking about the source and a cause being similar or the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Rajeev. Is there anything that exists beyond the immediate experience?
No, I don't think so. Immediate experience is itself the source and itself the cause. Means I can't say anything about what exists right in front of me. Means I only know what exists right in front of me. The rest of the things are just part of memory and words.
It's beautiful. Could you explain the totality of this moment if I gave you 1,000,000 years to do so?
No, it's not possible, because if I throw in 100 concepts or infinite concepts, then also it can't describe a single moment, because I will miss some qualities of light, sound, colors, etc.
How about the yes, and then what is life? How could we explain this moment if we don't know what life is, or whether or not there's a source, or if it's both or neither?
Yes.
Yes. Is there any kind of mechanism that could create or do work? Say, let me ask you this: is there a technique or a mechanism in that a person could find this understanding? Can somebody know? Can an individual understand a lack of separation?
I think it will be just like a moth falling into a flame. So I think the individual dies in the recognition, so there won't be anyone left there to recognize it. But there would be a slight means sense of some lightness, I do feel, but that's also not mandatory. But in my case, that's what happened, so I am speaking.
I saw, the thing is that some people say, the appearance of individuals will say that it is absolutely ordinary, it's mundane, and others will say it is good, it is a good thing, it is beautiful.
Yes,
What would you say? Is it both? Is it neither? Is it one or the other?
I think if I were to say, then I would say that the goodness part is just flickering part of it, and the ordinariness part of it is just ongoing part. Means it's ordinary and extraordinary at the same time. But the blissful part is not that it will stay forever. It just comes and goes, but it is also experienced throughout the day.
Hmm. Does time and space exist?
Uh, it exists and it doesn't exist because uh, in immediate experience, you are sitting at some other space and time, and I am at a certain other space and time. We have to regard it as a part of an apparent part of reality, but at the same time there isn't a cause and a space, because space and time are just labels we put on top of immediate experience, but for communication and for scientific purposes it's needed.
Mm. Isn't that fascinating? It's that it is both, always
Yeah,
both. It is and it isn't. It has nothing to do with the polarity of the story in which we find immediate experience tells us this story of a polarity, a beginning and an end. But there is no example of the beginning or the end. There is no example of any source or destination. And so what we find ourselves in is this appearance of a path between two events, a beginning and an end. And but with no definitive, there's no way you can know what that means. There's nothing before the memory of a birth or the memory of a childhood. And that memory cannot be known objectively to be actual, and the desire of a future is completely unknown, and based in the wants and the needs of the individual that cannot be objectively verified. And so you
yeah,
find yourself in this existence, that this here and now that really cannot be considered a place or present tense. And people ask, what is existence? What is life? And it would be, a lie to
yes,
say,
definitely.
it would be a lie to say, one thing or another, to say it is or is not one thing or another. It is both and neither and none of that. It is
Yeah,
truly, it's truly fascinating. And that's where the philosophy, um and I believe unconditional, or what I say, non-duality, really does. That's where they branch off. One will tell a
yes,
story about what might be, and another tries to find out exactly what can be known or can be understood, and what cannot be spoken of. The irony of it being that, um, the more you learn about philosophy, the more you realize the subtle nuances of what can and cannot be spoken of, and maybe you can
yes,
articulate her.
yes,
Can you speak to that, the appearance of the attainment of knowledge from the individual's perspective in regards to what cannot be said? Is it a good thing? Education, does it open up your experience? to brighter things, or is it better just to not know anything at all, or not explore?
uh, I think that exploration is means good up to a certain extent, because it shows us that no matter how much we try to describe anything, we can't really describe it. And someone who doesn't explore anything at all, then he might have the desire that if I would have explored, then
Mm,
maybe I would have reached the end. So
mm,
exploration is just like something which exhausts itself.
mm,
Means it's just like we are climbing the ladder to see that the ladder is useless. And
mm,
someone who has not climbed the ladder will think that if I would have climbed the ladder, then something would have got good. But someone who has climbed it and thrown it away, for him, it's just freedom, because he knows that he can't describe anything. Means he has gone through all the concepts and then he has discarded them.
mm. Yes, it's. I think that's where that's there's a subtle nuance there between the messageless message and say any kind of philosophy, in that well, I don't know. There's it's a philosophy deals with the an individual trying to navigate a
Yes.
space and a time, whereas non-duality appears to say that there is no individual in space and time. There's a subtle distinction there.
Yeah. I personally think that non-duality is pretty good at just allowing you to connect with your heart energy and your resonance.
Mm,
And ultimately, it is the only place all philosophers and all scientists will find peace. I personally think, because I enjoyed non-duality pretty much, especially the radical non-duality. I resonate with it very much. And
mm.
academically I have to also do stuff, so I continue that also, with continuing to listen to you and many other message speakers.
Oh, I'm so grateful for that. That's it. It really means a lot to me, because I really do resonate with you on the on philosophy, and just that somebody that can know so much about it, that you're around and you and I get to have discussions, is really a pleasure for me. It's a privilege, and I'm grateful to you, sir.
It's a pleasure for me also, because I
Yes.
enjoy interacting.
Oh, it's beautiful. The beauty of the smile, the the beauty of the simplicity. I've been I've been watching watching movies all night long. I decided to write a poem. I just got done with the poem right before you called, or right before we started talking on Messenger, and
You
I
can
can't
read it
help
now.
say what.
You can read it in this stream.
No, 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 no. No, but the poem was. It's just funny. It just have you ever, like, do you write poetry?
uh, yes, yes. Actually, I sung a song on radical non-duality.
Bring it, man. You can't say that and not sing. You have to sing now. It's a rule. It's a rule. Come on, man.
Um,
Belt one out for me. Come on, let her rip.
uh, actually, I will sing some other time.
Okay.
I already have it on my YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. I hear you. Sure. Rip off.
Nothing matters.
Well, yeah. I find I find a lot of creative people in the radical non-duality. It just kind of appears. A lot of singers, a lot of poets, a lot of dancers, a lot of artists, a lot of philosophers. You gotta love it.
Everybody just jumps into this at the end, somewhere during their journeys.
So for the next, so let me see, is it Friday where you're at?
Yes,
So you got the big weekend. I mean, you got the full celebration. The school is over. There's nothing holding you to anything. You have the whole world at your feet. You have all these
yeah,
big, you have all these big decisions that you don't even have to make if you don't want to. What a beautiful weekend coming. What a great moment.
yeah. It's a weekend full with spaghetti, chow means, and hamburgers.
Where are you in the world?
I am in India.
And what school are you? Do you mind talking about your school?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it's the third most top. It's the third best in our country. The university in which I study. It's filled with means immense beauty of nature, and it's very good to study, and people enjoy uh, to come and study.
That's amazing. What a privilege. What a great honor. And that's not easy. To graduate in 3 years, is that normal, or do you or is that or is it a 3 year degree, or is it?
No, no. Everybody in my course in which I am enrolled, everybody gets a degree in 3 years.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. So when you if you were to get your bachelor's or your master's, do you have any plans whatsoever, or are you living in this moment as and just watching the world go round and round? I mean, do you have
Uh,
a goal that you would like to attain?
uh, Actually, I don't have any means far-reaching goals. I just enjoy my studies moment to moment, and I will see how it goes in the future. And most probably, I'm thinking of getting of teaching this subject in colleges. So
Nice.
that type of job means I will try to also give a tinge of non-duality to my students in
Yes.
relating philosophy with non-duality a little bit, so that students get a bit open to a higher possibility of energetic communications also.
Oh, that's beautiful. So you want to be a teacher? That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so you really love school. Do you would you like to teach where you are a student now?
uh, Actually, um, if it presents itself to me, then I am ready for it. Means I like to discuss uh, philosophical thoughts and ideas, and I just like to play around, just going in a circle. I know
Yeah.
it's all just going in a circle, but I enjoy the moment of it.
Yes, that's I was making the analogy. I've made that analogy earlier. The mind is like a circle without the beginning or the end. It just goes round and round, and
Yeah,
space and time are like a line, a linear. The mind will roll on the line like a tire on a road, and space and time seem like the road, and the mind just goes round and round down the road, and you can look at that from a uh, disassociated. That's a random word. It's really not a great word, but you could look at that from a removed position, and just see the mind go round and round down the road of space and time, thinking that it is separate from everything that it is observing, and yet
yeah,
it's not that way. It is the mind going round and round through a linear dimension of time, space and time, and just to watch your own mind go in circles. You don't have to be, you don't have to be a slave to that, you know.
Yeah,
There's no like, you don't have to drop it because there's nothing to drop. And within that understanding, thought dissipates. Instead of like
yeah,
trying to meditate, I find that just rolling along with your thought puts you into a daydream type of state where you're not really a subject looking at objects. It's just thought happens, and you just find yourself at peace. At least for me, it appears that way.
yeah. It just rolls on. It just rolls on and on without any center or fixed point.
Hmm, yeah.
And
And
I
oh,
want to
please go
tell you
ahead.
that yesterday in our conversations with means Andrew and I were having conversation, and
Hmm,
one thing came up that he started speaking about how every moment is a reset button. Means everything is resetting itself. Means it's each moment is fresh. Everything is fresh and new.
yes, yes, it's beautiful. It's
Yeah,
the analogy of a man can't put his foot in the same river twice. You know, the same, there's the
yeah,
same man and the same, it's not the same man or the same river. Every moment is completely
yeah.
different.
Heraclitus said that everything is a flux, and there is no being, only becoming. Means there is no fixed point. There is just means motion and flux,
Yes, yes.
impermanence.
And what would you say to the people that would call that a deity, that the self as experience in that understanding of a thought stream and the entire uh, edgelessness of immediate experience? Would you refer to that as a deity?
Yes, I think that it is a wonderful way of expressing, because not everybody is like to just go in one direction. Means somebody are some type of individuals are more compassionate, and they like to devote to certain in certain idols, so that they can flow their life in a better way. So I think calling it a deity is also good, according
Mm,
to my perspective. It's very beautiful.
mm.
It's full of devotion.
Yes, and that so the interesting thing about the deity aspect is that you must paradoxically speaking, I'm using loose language, but you lose yourself, and what appears to be
Exactly.
the
Exactly.
immediate experience enlightens, and it's not so much a you and an it as it is the story of this here and now, as paradoxical as it can be. So I understand the inclination, and I understand the you know some speakers and some people refer to it as a deity, but not necessarily as a separate entity from what must be sovereigned over. And that's a big, it's a big hindrance to many, uh, but it's not necessarily a deity as in a biblical or an Islamic uh, monotheistic monotheistic being incorrect. For the monotheistic God to exist, there must be something to be godded over. There must be a subject and an object. And I don't think that's what a lot of the Indian
Yes.
teachers are saying. Yeah, when they refer to a god or a deity, I don't think that that's what they're talking about.
Hmm. Uh, okay, can you hear me good now? Can you hear my voice?
Yes, yes, it
Yeah.
freezes a little bit, but it's good.
Yeah. It has started to rain here.
It's actually rainy here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same,
Uh,
same. infinite synchronicity.
Yes, yes. That's, you know, what was Dugan? Dugan said. Dugan was very. I like Dugan. Do you like Zen at all?
Yes, yes, definitely. I think
Yes.
radical non-duality and Zen type of stuffs are very much similar, except the practices which they tell to do.
Interesting point. Yes, except for the practices, I think that Zen it does have a lot to do. I think that where Zen and radical non-duality split is that Zen will forego the actuality of sensation, and just hit you with a stick. If you're, you know, if you're thinking in terms of beyond um, cause and effect, the Zen master might hit you with a stick to show you that
Yes,
a stick will hurt you. You know, so that's all you need to know. But as with radical non-duality, it is beyond that cause and effect. The pain, yes, appears, or the idea of pain does exist. The fear of pain exists, but the pain itself, even if you are in the fire, does not necessarily, it's not to a self. And though that might not be um, useful to the appearance of an individual, it is actuality. And the distinction being Zen, I believe, having something to do with the practice of
yes,
what is conducive for the individual as far as peace, and you know, some common sense living rules that go for peace for the individual, and not and almost um, guiding the individual away from what it would deem as nonsensical um, aspirations or explorations, as far as what really can and cannot be known is not necessarily conducive to the individual. It doesn't necessarily matter. All the individual needs to know is that it gets hot and it gets cold, and appearances or not, you know, this might hurt or that is common sense kind of stuff. Whereas the radical non-duality, uh, non-duality, uh, what radical non-dualist might try to look or try to express something beyond that that understanding, beyond that appearance of pain and suffering as and bliss, and to say that neither exist, that the pain and the suffering as the bliss and the beauty are simply expressions of the totality, and they don't exist independent and
yes.
of each other, regardless of the individual sensation. And I find it, I love the radical non-duality take on it, although I must say that Zen helps me understand it. Going through, you know, learning about Zen and the Zen teachers is very beneficial and beautiful in its own right, and also true that it will hurt when they hit you with a stick. True enough,
uh,
I'll say that.
I, I resonated with this koan of Zen. What is the sound of the one hand clapping? And I like that pretty much. And there are many funny videos on internet with that koan. Means they have started using it as a meme, so it's very nice to see.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Well, what does
yeah.
it? What does it? How do you answer that? How would you answer that?
Means I think that most of the radical non-duality talks are what is the sound of the one hand clapping. They are only
Ah, yeah.
saying about that. Means it's just like a baby, immediate what we are experiencing.
Mm.
Means it tries to bypass the mind and just reveal what is without concepts, because we can't think about what is the sound of the one hand clapping. It's just immediately available right in front of our eyes.
Mm. I like. There's two koans that I like. One is I can't remember. I think it's I can't remember which number it is, but a man comes out of the woods into a clearing, and he sees a man biting a branch 200 feet in the air in a tree, and his hands and his feet are tied behind his back. And a monk comes around from the base of the tree trunk, and he yells up to the man that's biting the branch to try to stay alive, what is the one word that you can say that will save your life? And I love that koan. I think it's beautiful. What is the one word that you can say that will save your life? That is absolutely amazing. And also, when there is a sound, where does it come from, and where does it go? I love that one. But those are my two favorites. Is there a word
Yeah,
that could save? Is there a word that could save the man's life?
it's
Would you?
great, no?
What would you say to that koan with the man that's biting the branch with his hands and feet tied behind his back, 200 feet in the air, holding the branch by his teeth? What is the one word that he could say that would save his life?
This.
I love
This.
it, man. Beautiful.
and then and then he will fall down onto the ground.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's the beautiful thing. I think it's analogous to. Um, it's analogous to. It's kind of a joke, um,
Yeah.
because I think they're just having fun because there's no word that could save the man's life. There's no word that he could say. If he speaks, he lets go of the branch. But I could see him holding the branch and, trying to stay alive as long as possible. And here comes this smart aleck Zen master. What's the one word that could save your life? And there is none. And it's almost analogous to all the words that we speak to each other about the nature of
Yes.
existence, about non-duality. There, we speak and speak and speak, but there's nothing that could say what we're trying to say or what this is. Nobody, it's not even really happening in the way that it appears within time and space and that linear chain of events. So, it's almost, and also I think the monk in a way represents, that aspect of it, the loudmouth teacher aspect of it. Because the speakers all have to be loudmouths, because like you're basically learning something, about what cannot be spoken of by the village loudmouth. It's pretty funny. The guy that doesn't stop talking is the one that's telling you about things beyond words. It's a beautiful. I love it. And then the where does the sound come from and where does it go? I love that one. Do you have anything to say about that one?
It just it just comes from nowhere and goes to nowhere.
It's absolutely. It's. I think. I heard somebody say, um, there was nothing, and then there was a sound, and there was nothing. I love that, the simplicity, the basic answer, that very simplistic Zen like quality of there was nothing, then there was a sound, then there was nothing. It's like immediate experience. There's nothing, then there's this, then there's nothing.
No, nothing is happening. Nothing is something. Nothing is happening. Nothing is something.
There you go. I knew I'd get you to sing. I knew I'd get you to do it. You're gonna be on India. What is that? India's oh gosh, what is that? America's most famous or India's most famous? Looking for a star. Oh yes, American Indian Idol. That is
Yeah. Do you watch that?
sure. Well,
Oh,
I watch the
it's
American Idol on occasion. Sure.
it's so nice to hear that you watch Indian Idol. I also watch it every Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah, very talented people.
Yes, but not more talented than the radical non-duality guys.
there we. Now that would be something. That would be something.
Yeah.
A non-dualist speaker pageant. I guess they call that a convention. I'm so privileged to be speaking with you now. I'm so glad you called on the day of your graduation, on the last day of your schooling. It's so beautiful, man. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, I thought that the mood is good, so let's just record an interview.
Oh man, there's got to be a parade. We got to have a party.
Yeah, a party of
A party
the
of
best burger,
non-dualists.
the best burger of America and the best burger of India.
Well, I didn't think that well, I didn't think India was too big on eating cows. Your burgers are veggie burgers, right? Or only some of them. Do you eat meat? You're blanking
I
in and
eat
out.
veggie burgers.
You eat
Veggie
veggie burger,
burgers.
yeah. I used to own a deli, and I had some Indian neighbors at the stores next to me, and they would come. I got a lot of Indian people because I would wash. I had no problem washing the blade because you have to wash the blade off. You have to because Indian they could not eat meat, and I had no. I had that down. I had that system down. As soon as I saw them come in, I would take the slicer apart and wash it really good, and so that they could eat their cheese sandwiches without having any of the meat residue. And everybody else complained about it. They would come in and they were so humble, and they're like, "I'm so sorry, but I can't have meat, and I can't even have that on the slicer when you slice." And just because I understood, I was like, "Hey, no problem, bam, bam, bam." Clean it up real quick. I got so good at it that well, they were telling, their friends told their friends, and I ended up getting all kinds of Indian customers because I would accommodate their wishes, and it was beautiful. Um, for all the other stores that lost out on that business, I say too bad for them. I think I've lost Rajeev for a moment. He's
Hello.
there. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
it's just
I ended up getting a lot of business for the Indian my Indian neighbors when I was running to Delhi. Yeah.
yeah. Did you visited only Delhi or some other places also here in India?
I misunderstood that last bit. What was that? What did you say?
Um, uh, did you only visited Delhi or did you visited other cities also of India?
No, I've never been. The closest I've ever been to India was probably Indonesia, Java.
Oh,
Yeah, I've never been to India. Nah, I would like to go though. It'd be beautiful. I know a lot of people. I know Nancy Neithercut. I spoke to the other day. She said that she's been like 15 different times, and they can't go anymore either. And I know another. We know of the young lady Kokila that comes into the Monday group.
Yes, I saw her. I saw her in the meetings.
Yeah. She can't go anymore either. She's kind of bummed out about that. And but no, everybody that I've ever talked to that has gone has all loved it. So I would love to go. It's such a massive country, though. I don't know where I would go. I wouldn't know where to start. I'd have to call you and ask you where do I begin? Where, if I were to come to India, where would be the best place to go? Where do you think?
Varanasi. You come to Varanasi.
How do you pronounce that?
Let me write in the chat.
Okay. Why would you suggest that place? Varanasi. Okay. Varanasi. Why would you suggest Varanasi? I'm losing you again.
I am back.
Hey, why would you say Varanasi?
Because I live here.
Cool. Would I have to get a hotel, or I mean, you got enough room for me?
It's a very nice place. It's full of temples and all the good street food stuffs.
Oh, I love the food. I love the temples. What is there any favorite? I know that in India there are so many ways to look at religion and temples and things of that nature. Is there a favorite temple that you have architecturally and then spiritually?
Yeah, there are many temples. Means every temple has got its own unique expression and importance here.
What would be your favorite? Do you have one?
Actually, I would not like to mention any favorites because every every place here is pretty nice to visit.
How many people are in your city?
I have no idea.
You have no. Is it very crowded?
Actually, here every area is crowded. Means our population is pretty high, so uh, you can see people all around. Means there are many people.
Do you drive, or do you ride a bicycle? Do you take a bus? How do you get around?
I enjoy riding bicycle.
Yeah.
Because it's just flowy. Means I like the flow nature of the bicycle more than the speedy nature of the motorcycles and cars.
Yeah, I like the bicycle too. I for years I didn't I had a problem with my knee, and I thought that the bicycle would hurt my knee. But when I finally got back on my bike, I didn't want to come off it. I would ride my bike everywhere. It helped my knees very much, and I love it because the smells and the sights and the sounds, and you're in the street more than just passing it. You're kind of a part of what's going on. I like that very much.
That's the main reason I like using bicycle, because I am able to enjoy the moment. Means I am able to look around and see the dance of creation.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, it's difficult to express how different it is. You really have to get on your bike and ride around your own city. If you've never done it before, I would highly recommend it to anybody. It's I had been here for many years before I got on a bike and decided to just ride around. And I ended up loving it so much. I would ride my bike everywhere. I had a car and everything. I would just ride my bike. I didn't care. I didn't care about. I would rather ride my bike. It's aside from the exercise and helping the knees, but it's just so beautiful out there. You know, the sights and the smells and the sounds.
It's just full on perception and sensations. This,
Yes.
this it's just a simple word. This.
It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful.
This.
I mean, I would you go downtown and every corner has a different vendor. You know, you get the different smells of the different people cooking the different foods and all the different smells, and just there are so many things that I had missed because I drove by it so fast. And all the different places where you can rest and look at different art and different fountains and sit in the park and just go out and play. Many times I would just get out and just start riding my bike around, no matter what time of day or night it is, and you always find something that you would have never seen had you had were you in
Yeah.
a car. Yeah, yeah.
It just means in a car you are just looking at the 180-degree picture, while in a cycle you are just 360-degree. Means you are all around the
I agree.
space.
Yes. So when does the party commence tonight?
It has started to commence just when the interview started,
That's so beautiful.
and it is continuing till now, and it will start to continue till eternity.
Rajeev, man, I love you, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me this interview, man. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, I also loved it.
Is there any
I absolutely.
anything you wish to say? Anything you wish to say or sing for that matter? Yeah.
I I just like to say that be like this. just just live like this moment to moment.
I've got you know what I'm gonna hold you up to that. How beautiful. How beautiful. Well, if you end up riding your bike around in the rain this weekend, do so smiling.
Yeah, and also like this. This is the favorite pose of the radical non-dualists.
Wait, I can't get my hand in the picture. Hang on. what is that? A tiger?
No, it's the shocking nature of every moment of life, which is represented by this. It's the absolute brilliant nature of life that is capturing this.
every plank moment. It's
Yeah,
so beautiful and true.
it's true. That's why I think some Zen master used to do some gestures out of nowhere, so that the mind of the seekers just got just dropped into the unknowable mystery.
Yes, and I can see. The thing is that I've always kind of tried to make alluded to that perspective is to say that time does not flow. It just appears to flow because it is a succession of still shots. The level of mind really sees things in a I mean it's billions of still shots per second, trillions of them, quadrillions of them, but
Infinitude of them.
and every moment is infinite in that still shot.
No, no, it's just like this. It's just like this.
Well, that's kind
it it has always been like this.
that's kind of Charlie Manson-ish. You might scare people away if you do that.
I might be a good actor in the horror movies and comedy movies.
Well, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
There's got to be a balance.
Yeah. There has to be a lot of balance between this and this.
It is both. It is both.
It is
It is
both.
both. It
Means
is
I
both.
means I enjoy a lot when my body just does like this.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I get. I'm a little more dramatic, I think, than some, but I love those moments when, like, I get these tingles. Like tingles just shoot through my body, and I feel like, I just feel elated, ecstatic, just happy to be alive or to be
Ecstatic,
here. Yeah,
energetic.
energetic, all of those things, and it's just all of that. Everything just passes right through me, and it just feels amazing. And there's no need for an explanation for that. I mean, there's no need to try to explain it. It just is what it
Yes.
is, and yeah, it's and then there's the I think what Lao Tzu would say, the darkness within darkness that is beyond thought. It's beyond words, and even that is just this here now. And you get into this place.
Just this.
It's just this. Yeah, it's just
Just
this.
this.
Yeah, it's just this. And that also is just this. It's all of it, every bit of it, everything possibly conceivable and beyond, if that is possible. Everything,
Yes.
everything is simultaneous and beautiful and
Everything,
happening, not happening.
everything. Nodding.
See, that's why we put you through school, man. what what did you? There is another one. That's another one. The Japanese sect of Zen that sent. I can't remember the names, but the Japanese sect of Zen that couple thousand 1400 years ago, I think it was,
Yeah.
sent an emissary back to China to see what what is the true way? What is the true way? We think we're being lost because the Japanese sect was splitting into two more sections, and so they sent the emissary back to China to see what the true way of Zen is. And the guy came back 7 years later, and they said, "Well, what message do you have? What is the true way of Zen?" And the guy hands him a piece of paper that says "burnt toast." And
Yeah.
it's another beautiful although it supposedly happened. People have always asked, what does burnt toast? What do you think China meant? The Chinese
Yeah.
Zen monks meant to say to the Japanese Zen monks when they replied, Zen. What is the true way of Zen? What do you think that reply meant? Burnt toast.
Toast. What do you think if I say that this is an open-eyed man fallen down a well?
This is an open-eyed man falling down a well. That's an interesting image, isn't
Yeah,
it? That's a beautiful image. Beautiful.
it was just like you mentioned about that branch one.
I'm sorry, what was that last bit?
That man who was holding on to the branch with his teeth. It's just like that.
Mm. I think it means, it could just mean toast. It could just mean burnt toast, but it could mean
It could mean this.
yeah. No, it could mean, I think it's alluding to the level, like for one person to ask another person, what is the right way, is impossible, because the person cannot know themselves to be actual. They cannot know what the right way is themselves. So from that position, that lack of position, to ask somebody else within the experience of that immediate, within that just this, how can you ask them? Because they're within your experience. So, and your experience is not objectively known. So you can't ask somebody else what the right way to do anything is. And so what they're saying, I think what the Chinese monks might have been saying, is alluding to the sensation of the smell of burnt toast, in the same way that I could ask you what like a rose smells like. To ask you what's the right way to practice Zen is impossible to answer.
The best way to practice Zen is to just wake up in the morning and start dancing straight away.
Yes. Start sharing bags of candy with children.
Yes. Start sharing bags of chocolate with the dualists and non-dualists both.
Mm, what a beautiful day. Mm.
What if I say that nothing is nothinging the nothinging?
Say it again. Say that again.
Nothing is nothinging the nothinging.
What you said.
Let me write in the chat.
I'm glad you wrote it. The chair is chairing. The nothing is nothing.
Nothinging.
Mm. Mm. Do you want to talk about the difference between nothing, no hyphen thing, and the void?
The difference is just subtle but immense. The
Mm.
no dash thing, the no dash thing is talking about some entity, while the nothing is talking about just this. just what is happening.
It's happening.
Yes, it's a bread toast.
What does burnt toast smell like to you?
It smells like cheese.
What is the color green?
It's the green minging green.
To whom you are talking?
To nobody. Can I eat in my interview or not?
I'm sorry?
Can I eat in my interview or not?
Yes, please.
I have got mangoes.
Okay, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. What a beautiful day.
Yes. It has been a day filled with bread cheese, which is roasted.
What goes good with mangoes?
They are communicating me the message. They are very sweet and crispy.
Crispy.
Yes.
Lucky. Yes. I love that line in the movie. I can't remember what movie it was. Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan. He cuts a peach for her and he gives her a slice of peach. And he goes, "Can you tell me what this tastes like?" And she says, "You don't know what a peach tastes like?" And he says, "I don't know what it tastes like to you." I thought that was a beautiful line. Every moment is this moment.
Yes. Every moment is just eating itself up.
Good one. There was a sound. There was nothing. Then there was a sound. And then there was nothing.
Was the sound also nothing?
It must be.
Or it can be this also.
Yes. Is there a difference between nothing and something?
Something is nothing.
is the distinction a difference, or is it simply more of the tapestry?
Distinction is apparent difference, but not real difference.
So is there a distinction or a difference between nothing and something?
There is only difference and no distinction.
And then there's indifference to the difference.
And there is just the bread toast.
Then there's distinctions of differences.
Finally, there is just blah blah blah.
Well, now you're getting technical. It's too technical, man. Blah blah blah.
Bread toast is not technical.
Can there be a technical? Can technology exist without a mechanism?
I don't think so, because for technology there has to be some mechanism.
So it is the appearance. So technology would be the appearance of a mechanism.
Yes, but we can always speak that there is no technology, but
Not in the actual sense. That would be the distinction. The learning of mechanism is not the learning of actuality. You can teach somebody to fish and they can eat, but there is no mechanism that makes the body appear to need to eat.
actually after some time you realize that the absurd sounds communicate this moment in a better way than the words. Like
The description of is not prescriptive.
forward. I love your Monday meetings.
Well, you know, I appreciate that. I'm so grateful that you show up. You know, a lot of times it's funny. I'm always prepared to sit there by myself, but I never have to because you're usually there. Howard's there, and then other people come and go. It's beautiful.
Yes.
You have made my Mondays very enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm grateful.
Oh, that was like Tony.
Like butter,
Yeah.
like butter. You're blanking in and out, man. I hope your mango was ripe.
Yeah, the mango was pretty good in taste, and it's pretty fresh also. It's such a nice weather here. It's raining around.
I'm looking at my window. It's gray and misting. Very foggy mist, heavy.
Yeah. Actually, we have got rain after, I think, many days. We didn't have rain here. And after that, we are having rain.
Yeah, it's funny. Around here, it's always we're either it's the drought or it's flooding. You know, no, everybody says, "Oh, it's so dry, it's a drought," and then when it starts raining, it overflows everything, and then oh my God, it's flooding. So it's either a feast or famine. You know, for
Yeah.
as long as I've been here, you know, I always thought it was just a natural way of things. They are very dry for a while, and then they're over, and then they over, and then it's just overly wet and floods everything. That's just the way it is every year. But they still call it a drought or a flood. You know, it's oh, it's dangerous, it's dangerously dry, and then oh my God, there's too much water, too much, it's flooding everything. It's never exactly
Yeah.
perfect.
It's just off, means slight bit, but that is also perfect.
And then we have a weird thing that happens every time. Even the weatherman talks about snow. Everybody goes and buys all the bread and canned goods from the store. Even if they just talk about snow, it doesn't even. I mean, it only snows here once every 10 or 15 years, maybe 20. And when it does, even just a little bit, the whole city just shuts down pretty much. Everybody goes and buys all the bread and all the canned goods.
The market becomes empty totally.
Do what now?
The markets there become empty in the snowy season.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The grocery stores love the weatherman. I'm convinced that they pay them to tell everybody it's going to snow. Everybody comes and buys everything.
Then they do their own party
Yeah,
before weatherman tells them.
yeah. Beautiful day.
It has been just like this.
So you don't even know you're just not gonna know what you're gonna do with yourself on Monday. Monday mornings are my Monday morning. Hopefully you'll be at the meeting. But for your Monday morning when you usually go to class, you're not gonna know what to do with yourself.
And I just sit there and I just play around with my friends. I also do something like this. Then he just starts laughing. We had a great one.
Yeah. The sun's starting to burn the fog off now. The morning sun just starting to clear the trees.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Hmm.
I don't know what to ask anybody that knows everything. That knows that there's nothing. I don't know what to ask somebody that knows that everything is nothing.
And nothing is also nothing.
How beautiful.
How beautiful. It was nice chatting with you.
Thank you so much for doing this. Definitely, definitely a change of pace for my usual interviews. Is a good thing. You have a very distinctive interview. Thanks, Rajeev.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
I hope you have a beautiful weekend and I hope I see you very soon. Thanks, brother.
Bye.
Bye. Talk to you soon.